Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is game 2 in the series between Shase, our Protoss hero, playing in the orange colours, and ActionJesuz, our 6-pooling Zerg player, in the green colours. Shadow Thief, if you would like to announce the spawn locations.
I would love to. So ActionJesuz, as you mentioned, our Zerg player has spawned bottom left on Shakuras Plateau, and then all the way across the map, a brilliant spawn. He's going to love this one, is our Protoss player Shase. He's top right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I just want to point out we have a drone in production, so we're not going to be seeing a 6-pool. We might be seeing an 8-pool, perhaps, maybe a 9-pool. We don't know. There is going to be a pool, that is for sure.
That is for sure. So we've actually seen, I've seen in the GSL games, for instance, there's been a couple of Zerg players that like to 8-pool or 9-pool on this map to put on a bit of early pressure and then just transition into a late game. Not an all-in build, just something that they can be incredibly aggressive with and sort of try rattle their opponent.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, actually. We've seen some very good 9-pool builds. And you're right, you can just get a little bit of pressure. It doesn't sacrifice too much economy. It does make a bit of a difference to your early game play. But it's not like it's an all-in strat at all, with the way a sort of 6-pool is.
Yeah, and the 6-pool is what we saw in the previous game. Tough stuff to stop, but Shase seemed to have the antidote. And this map is obviously our Zerg player's choice. A very good choice for any Zerg out there. Funny though that if I look at my ActionJesuz actually scout. No, he didn't scout to the top first. That's weird. He did check all the way around his natural to make sure there weren't any proxy pylons though.
He did. Yeah, he did. He said all the way around that. He then went to the closest position by ground, which is directly across from the map. He's now going up and will spot exactly where Shase is going to be. And the pool went down fairly standard time. It went down at 14. We've got a gas extractor going down now, so you may not actually see the Gleam play coming out. We might be seeing more of a roach play.
Yeah, and that'd actually be good to see. I mean, we saw our first game just a couple of minutes ago, and it was a 6-pool. So we'd like to see ActionJesuz play a longer, a more macro-based game, something that we generally expect from Zerg. So there's a second gateway for Shase going down.
Yeah, that went down on 16 for those of you keeping score at home. This is Shase's own particular style. He prefers to get a couple of gateways and then get his side score. Oh, he just cancelled that gateway, actually. Now he's rebuilding it.
I think the positioning must have been a little bit off. Yeah, he wanted a tiny little funnel between the two for one Zealot. Yeah,
that's right. That's exactly right. There's still a bit of a gap the other side, though. So it's going to be another building, maybe a pylon or something going down here. Or probably it's not a full wall off just yet.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the cybernetics core. I think he should be safe for now. We've got 2 Zerglings coming out for ActionJesuz, and I think that's just 2 mana Zerglings. He's going to be running around to check around the map to make sure his opponent knows that he's actually got something out there.
Indeed, he is going for an expand at the moment. The probe of Shase might be able to block it, but no, it's only get there in time. And there's that natural expansion down for ActionJesuz. We've got a bit of a zealot chasing after the one scouting drone of ActionJesuz. He's doing quite a lot of scouting here, though. I'm quite impressed.
He's getting some good information there, and that expansion, very standard time. It's really good to see that ActionJesuz went for that metabolic boost first, so he can be slightly more aggressive, get a bit more map control perhaps when he gets a few more Zerglings out.
Yeah, the reason he didn't go for the earlier gas, I think, was just so that he could get a few more guys in minerals for a little bit longer. And, oh, this is interesting. We're not actually seeing a cybernetics core at all from Shase at the moment. He's going with his own naturally, trying to expand himself and try and keep up the economy versus ActionJesuz. Now the cybernetics core is going down somewhat later than normal on 25 there.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed that ActionJesuz actually has pretty much the same amount of workers as Shase at the moment. That's generally not what happens with the Zerg. Usually they fall behind a little bit because they had spent slightly more minerals on that expansion slightly earlier. But it's quite impressive that he's actually keeping up.
Yeah, I'm just checking out the APMs of these players. Both of them are current around the sort of 140, 160 mark. It's really nice to see that ActionJesuz managed to keep this probe alive for as long, drone alive for as long as he has done. Now got another expansion going down. This is at the I'd say 9 o'clock north natural. So ActionJesuz really wants to keep one base ahead of his opponent at all times.
Wow, the reason for that, I'm pretty sure, is the fact that he's actually got a good look at his opponent's base. And let's see, he saw the Stargate going down. He knows exactly what's going on in Shase's base. He knows that there's not much threatening him right now, so he's going straight for the Uber economy.
Yeah, and he's not actually like worried too much by it, all by the looks of it as well. He's still going for lots and lots of expansions. He's spreading himself out, just going to make it very hard to defend against aerial units like the Void Ray and Phoenix doing the harassment that they're quite good at. But unfortunately, his scouting will come to an end. There is a Stalker out on the field. It's making its way up, and that will be the end of that drone. So no more scouting for you, ActionJesuz.
It's very weird that no more scouting, but that was 7 minutes into the game. That was incredibly long to have a scout in your opponent's base. Well controlled by him, and he still kept his macro up. He kept those drones coming. Look at the income tabs. I'm pretty sure that ActionJesuz is going to start pulling away very soon.
He should do. He's 5 drones ahead at the moment. He did just spend a long time mainlining a load of probes up to his latest expansion. And we have now a Phoenix on the way. Just want to point out that ActionJesuz, as soon as he saw that starport going down, he did throw down an evolution chain, but we are getting a few more queens being made, and now we're getting some spore crawlers. There's one in the main just here. There's another one, I believe, probably at the natural. Yes, there it is, right in the middle of his worker line there.
Yeah, there's one at each base at the moment, and he's got a couple of extra queens out too. That's really good to see.
It is, absolutely. The Phoenix is going to get shut down. Will it discover the next base? Oh, I don't know if it did.
Yeah, it did.
Yes, it did. It did see it there. So Shase has seen the 3rd base now of ActionJesuz. He's got a Void Ray almost finished, and he has a robotics facility. Did almost get that wrong. Coming out as well. So we should be seeing, I would assume, some observers out of that. Maybe even a warp prism, perhaps.
And it's going to be interesting to see what Shase does. I don't think he's going to be able to expand again. Looks like he's going to push out, actually, because he's actually, if you look at it now, he's 10 workers behind our Zerg player. So that's quite significant already.
He is, but even being 10 workers behind, he still has an equal army size. Actually, no, ActionJesuz literally only just pulled ahead by 10. So it does mean that Shase has got somewhat more of an attacking force than a worker force here.
Yeah, I'm not sure how ActionJesuz is going to defend at his expansions. It looks like Shase is moving out right now. He's got quite a decent sized force, but ActionJesuz is pumping out a bunch of Zerglings,
Yeah, big time. He's getting a lot of gas as well. Very soon we should be seeing a lot of Mutalisks coming out. We've got a nice force here. We've got a robotics bay being produced as well, so we should be seeing Colossus come relatively quickly.
I would really have liked to see would have liked to see like at least one upgrade for those Zerglings. Maybe just the damage upgrade that makes them rip the Stalkers apart. But
he's going to be
a
dead queen. She's out in the middle of nowhere. Goodbye. Oh no, she's going to go down. Whoa, is she? Yes, she is. And look at everything that ActionJesuz had at that expansion, immediately running up the ramp to try and save as many of them as possible. The hatchery will go down, but a huge counterattack here. We have, 32 Zerglings, I think that is.
But Shase did spot it, and he's got his ramp blocked.
Yeah, nice block there. Zerglings immediately having to pull back and try and deal with the few ground forces of Shases that are going up, trying to chase down any remaining drones and the queen of ActionJesuz. He has got them hidden quite well, though. I'm quite impressed there. Little skirmish there in the middle, just taking that proxy pile, so no more insta reinforcements here for Shase.
It looks like Shase didn't spot this group of units. He's gonna find it in just a second. But ActionJesuz has a bunch of roaches out now. And there you go, just ripping those drones and queens apart.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the Void Ray is going to do so much damage. The queens can't really get out of there whatsoever, so those are some dead drones. There's another group of them just here, though. There's 7 drones there that did manage to get away scot-free. So ActionJesuz has done a good job there of misdirecting his opponent, but Corruptor's on the way and a second robotics facility. So we should be seeing 2 robo and double forge going down as well.
Yeah, I'm also just looking at that very cocky expansion at the north left-hand side main. Sorry,
brilliant.
That is incredibly cocky. Shase just moved out of there, and he's already got the expansion going up. He really wants that expansion up. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Shase has no idea that it's there either, and ActionJesuz has already got still a load of drones ready to come out and do some more. Now here we have a large army for ActionJesuz. We've got a load of roaches, some corruptors, and these Zerglings as well. Phoenix is going to be in trouble though. If it goes forward too much, there's going to be 2 queens in there that can deal with it, but now the Phoenix has just been run straight out of that base. Got the scouting information it wanted.
I'm not sure why Shase is putting his army there. I think he might lose a ton of units right now. Oh my goodness, and ActionJesuz nearly gets us around.
Especially if we can get these roaches in at the same time as the Zerglings, but there's a lot more coming in from Shase and the Colossi as well. The Colossi will do huge damage, especially if those Void Rays and those Stalkers can take out the Corruptors of ActionJesuz.
Yeah, there's another Colossus on its way out, and the extended thermal lance is going to be done in a mere 20 seconds. So at the moment, Shase is actually looking really good. ActionJesuz just got that 3rd up again.
And another expansion, he's going for a fourth just south of Shase's main base. Shase is actually expanding as well. He's getting his third up, just sort of in the little sort of nook in the T section there on the map.
Yeah, very interesting, these guys, wow. But I think we're about to see a big encounter here. It's good that ActionJesuz has got a bit of creep spread. Shase doesn't have an observer out, he's not going to be able to deal with it. But I do think that ActionJesuz might need a few more units to deal with this force.
And as you said, that 10 more roaches incoming.
Oh,
there is an immortal on the way. We do have a proxy pylon being walked in for Shase, so Shase better reinforce his lines, no problem. Look at the army size, though. We have 148 for 146. It's extremely close. Proxy pylon going down and just retreating out of there. Doesn't want to engage just yet. Needs to get the rest of those corruptors in there. 4 more on the way.
Yes, very equal looking fight. He's got that queen all the way at the front. Nice tank, but he probably doesn't want to lose that. He's about to lose a lot of overlords, but he's going to push in at the same time.
Oh, no, don't engage at the ramp. All you need to be so clustered up, and the Colossi will do huge damage. The splash is massive on the Colossi.
Those roaches just can't reach in there.
Some of the airlift, though. No, they can't, that's right. He's not looking wonderfully comfortable for ActionJesuz. He's not in a huge amount of trouble, but it's not a great position for him to be in. More corruptors on the way, more roaches on the way, but unfortunately a couple more immortals on the way, and they will do a lot of damage to these roaches. Meanwhile, the 4th base of ActionJesuz down here at the bottom right position has finished, and now he's engaging all these roaches, getting loads of fire, nice force fields. Not quite enough energy on those sentries yet, I don't think, though.
Yeah, quite a few corrupts off as well. Those corrupts definitely worth their weight now, and those roaches actually doing a good job to deal with this. Wow.
Indeed. A really good job there with the roaches. He's got to be very careful of that immortal. I'd like to see if he's got one spare corruption on the immortal. That will really help out in a second. And the Void Ray, though, is going to be able to get away scot-free until the corruptors can get in range of it.
A lot more zealots coming in. ActionJesuz is going to have to make a move soon. He's losing a lot of overlords. He's actually currently in the red.
Yeah, he is supply blocked. Shase is doing a really good job of sniping those overlords out. I don't actually know why the overlords were there. I mean, they would have absorbed maybe some damage from the stalkers, but not a huge amount. Some roaches being trapped outside, but the zealots of Shase are going down. This is the first time I've ever really seen Shase having a problem with an opponent, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, those corruptors are definitely doing a lot of damage now with the corruption ability. Wow, that Void Ray very close to very close to dying. Lucky Void Ray. So we should actually take this second to look at the economies. How are these guys doing?
Not so bad, actually. Shase is marginally ahead, 60 harvesters to 54. But bear in mind that ActionJesuz does have a few more bases, so he is going to be able to harvest in a slightly more economical fashion. He won't have his workers sort of queuing up behind each other. Now creating some forward creep just to speed his force up a little bit. I would like to see some upgrades, though.
And a free immortal.
One immortal immediately sniped off. That was so huge. That Void Ray almost went down as well. Got to be careful, there's a load more immortals and the zealots coming in. 10 roaches on the way as well as the infestation pit, and he's going to need the infestors actually, or at least hive technology to deal with this army of Shases.
Most definitely, and Shase is moving into the creep here, but he's getting a ton more overlords, and oh my goodness, I think ActionJesuz is about to go into the red again.
Ooh, he needs to kill one more. Now he's going to have it. Now ActionJesuz is once again supply capped. He needs to be a little bit more careful with these overlords, or at least pump a few out and just keep them at the back of his force.
ActionJesuz.
More attacks going in here, and the roaches are doing good damage to Zeds. They are getting kite with quite a bit, focusing right on that immortal, and wow, that was almost one shot. Really nicely played.
Some very nice focus fire, yes, and he's going to keep the reinforcements coming, doing good damage here, but those immortals are just doing so much damage to the roaches, and those Void Rays too. Here comes another Void Ray.
Yeah, we are about 30 supply ahead for Shase at the moment, and the Corruptors can only attack the Void Ray, so they're pretty much useless in this fight, unfortunately. ActionJesuz is now in a lot of trouble. This force is coming in and will do a lot of damage. Drones having to run away from the natural. Some caught there at the bottom of the ramp with that force field. Very nice force field there.
Shase is playing incredibly solidly, that is true. He's got a bunch of sentries left, and those immortals are just not getting any less, and we see the GG from ActionJesuz. Wow.
Nicely played.